One Piece has remained one of the most prolific names in the realm of anime and manga for over 20 years, and like most popular anime, it's had its fair share of games over that time. One Piece video games have varied wildly in quality, landing anywhere from utter garbage to pretty damn good. Fortunately, Pirate Warriors 4 is the latter. It's a game that I enjoyed way more than I ever expected to. The Musou genre rarely resonates with me, and even when a Musou does get my attention, I usually fall off of it very quickly, so the fact that I actually spent 30 hours with Pirate Warriors 4 and got the Platinum Trophy is a testament to how much fun I had with the game. If you've played any game in the Musou genre, you know what you're getting into with Pirate Warriors 4. You'll be dropped onto a large map, then given tasks such as recapturing an area from enemies or defeating a boss, while beating the crap out of thousands of enemies along the way. While there's something undeniably satisfying about the power fantasy that Musous provide, they also have a tendency of becoming stagnant eventually due to the repetitive nature of their missions and often simplistic combat. Pirate Warriors 4 managed to stave off stagnation longer than most Musous for me, for a few key reasons. The most obvious reason is that I'm a fan of One Piece, so I'm predisposed to like this game more than a non-fan would be. Simply running around familiar locations as the cast of One Piece and seeing them use their iconic attacks from the series is appealing to me and many other fans, I'm sure. Pirate Warriors 4 also boasts a sizable roster of over 40 playable characters, so you'll more than likely find at least a few characters that resonate with you. For me, Luffy, Nami and Katakuri were the characters I had the most fun playing as. I was truly impressed by just how different many of the characters felt to play as. In a lot of Musou games, characters have a tendency to all feel very similar, and that leads to them getting boring very quickly, but in Pirate Warriors 4, the skill sets of different characters were so varied that when I was starting to get fatigued with playing as one character, I could just switch to someone else to reinvigorate my interest in the game. One major element of Pirate Warriors 4 that drew me back were the RPG-like skill trees that can be upgraded with coins you're given for completing missions. There's not only an overarching skill tree that gives you perks no matter who you're playing as, but also individual skill trees for each playable character that allow you to boost their stats and unlock new abilities. These skill trees not only offer a great feeling of progression as you play, but also made it feel like I always had new things to try out in battles. This kept me tweaking my character's skill sets throughout the entire time I played Pirate Warriors 4, as I pursued my ideal loadout for each of my favourite characters. While all these factors help alleviate a lot of the issues I regularly have with the Musou genre, there are still a handful of issues I have with Pirate Warriors 4. By now, you've probably noticed that the game isn't particularly impressive to look at. While the character models are pretty decent, the environments are filled with drab textures and endlessly repeating enemy models. Unfortunately, these kind of graphical compromises are required to keep the game's performance consistent while having such a vast amount of enemies on screen at any given time. Something else that I found irritating in Pirate Warriors 4 is the overabundance of text on screen that's present in certain missions. The constant barrage of messages popping up on screen can be intrusive and distracting, and while I did enjoy this game more than most Musous I've played, it's impossible to deny the nature of the game is still very repetitive, and because of this, I think Pirate Warriors 4 is best enjoyed in small bursts. I found it to be the perfect game to wind down with after playing something a little more involved. While the environments may not be the best looking, there is an impressive amount of variety in them. Like the anime, Pirate Warriors 4 showcases a diverse amount of locations, from deserts to forests to towns. Pirate Warriors 4 offers a pretty sizable story mode that took me almost 20 hours to finish. Story mode is a truncated retelling of the anime's storyline, from the Alabasta arc to the Whole Cake Island arc, as well as an original story set in Wano. While this is a fun way of reliving some of the series' most iconic moments for fans, it's certainly not an ideal way to get caught up on the story if you're not already familiar, as the game glosses over a lot of important storylines. For example, storylines like East Blue, Skypiea and Thriller Bark are only very briefly addressed in cutscenes. Once you're finished with the main story, you can jump into Treasure Log mode. Treasure Log offers dozens of different missions that task you with completing different objectives to get coins to upgrade your characters. This mode adds a lot of additional value to the game, but is also very repetitive, so I don't feel compelled to go back and grind out the remaining coins needed to upgrade characters. Additionally, there's also a free play mode that allows you to replay the missions from the story mode, but as any of the 40 plus characters in the roster. While One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 doesn't entirely overcome the trappings of the Musou genre, it's certainly the most fun I've ever had with a Musou game. If you're not already a One Piece fan, I think it's safe to say that you can skip this game, but if you're a fan of One Piece, Pirate Warriors 4 is certainly worth your time. It delivers fun combat, satisfying RPG elements, and a large and varied roster. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos.